This template consists of small multiples for locations representing yearly absolute variances of net profit. This template can be used best if the same measure must be presented for different locations, product lines, etc. The number of small multiples can be up to 25 or more, depending on the number of columns per chart and the font size being used. Dimensions. Dimensions is limited on maximum 3 dimensions. First dimension should be an array of strings that contain some sort of descriptions, for example an array which contains month names. Second dimension should be an array of strings that contain some sort of descriptions. For example, an array which contains city names. Third dimension, conditional dimension what present description of array. For example, month names. Measures. Measures is limited on maximum 2 measures. First measure. The first measure is used by the left side of the chart, until the actual period. Second measure, is used by the right side of the chart, from the actual period. Appearance. Appearance tab consists of couple tabs in Chart 2 representing following settings: settings, scaling, number formatting, measure function, font, colors, layer settings, layer color, Excel export, PDF export. Left bar type. The property can contain the next values. 1. Represents AC, actual period. 2. Represents PL, plan period. 3. Represents FC, forecast. 4. Represents PY, previous year. 5. Represents layer user 1. 6. Represents layer user 2. 7. Represents layer user 3. The changes are reflected the left side from actual. Right bar type. The property can contain the next values. 1. Represents AC, actual period. 2. Represents PL, plan period. 3. Represents FC, forecast. 4. Represents PY, previous year. 5. Represents layer user 1. 6. Represents layer user 2. 7. Represents layer user 3. The changes are reflected the right side from actual period. Actual. Defined actual period versus plan. Highlight line. Define where starting actual period from the left side and where beginning calculation of the plan on right side of the chart. Line type. The property can contain the values from 1 to 4. 1. Represents AC, actual period. 2. Represents PL, plan period. 3. Represents FC, forecast. 4. Represents PY, previous year. The changes are reflected on the axis line. Line thickness defines the thickness of the axis line. Highlight actual bar. The property is used for highlighting bar and bar number in actual month. Property highlight actual color defines the color of the highlighted bar number. Highlight value. For collaboration with your coworkers, you can use highlight property to present value what is not correct or not satisfy corporate need. In this property you need to add number what is incorrect, and that number will be highlight with color what is defined in color section and property highlight color. For example, if we need to highlight value 80 on chart, simple add number in the property. Fixed space between bars is used when we want to present fixed space, or we want to use space in chart responsive. This property can be set up with click on checkbox, or with expression using two available possibility. 0. Space between bars is calculated automatically. 1. Space between bars is fixed. The space width is 1/3 of the bar width. Number of columns defines the number of columns in the chart. Number of grid rows defines the grid of rows in the chart. Side padding, it is used to create space around elements content inside of any defined borders. In our chart it is defined by left and right padding in pixels. Title align the title of the chart. Property can be used directly from Dropbox or with expression using following numeration: 1. Left, 2. Center, 3. Right. Show bar border, property give more visual presentation of the bars. Surrounding the bars with the border. Border can be defined with different colors. In section color, selecting the property border color, user can use different colors. Scaling, visualization consists of two components. There is space where data is displayed, and then the objects that represent the data. The point is that size of the value represented with bars is very important. The scaling drastically affect the visualization, and the story that it tells. In Chart 2 are representing 4 scaling option for different user needs. Manually use of scaling, using drop-down menu and selecting manually, you set property to 0, then the bar scaling depend of amount. Bar length, percentage amount and percentage bar length property, auto scaling, using from menu you set the property to 1, that is mean that bar scaling is automatically calculated. Use of scaling, you set the property to 2, this property is used for writing scaling by absolute value. Defined expression, is set property to 3 and is used to controlling scaling trot expression. Number format are used to control the display of cell values that contain numeric data. Using the button with questionnaire, will be displayed predefined formats. With simple click on desired format, you can copy and paste in the property. Separators, 2 separators, are available in section number format, and that is, 1000 and decimal separators. 1000 abbreviation, if is used K, in the property then the value of 1000 would be displayed as 1K. Million abbreviation, if is used M, in the property then the value of 1 million will be displayed as 1M. Billion abbreviation, if is used B, in the property then the value of 1 billion will be displayed as 1B. Trillion abbreviation, if is used T, in the property then the value of 1 trillion will be displayed as 1T. Measure function, used for measure, from one bar to another bar and calculate positive and negative difference between two items. To use it, just drag and drop from one item to another. The property can be activated with checking or unchecking the checkbox, or with expression button, FX, using following values, 0, no, 1, yes. The other properties in the measure function section, is used for visual presentation, like positive or negative color. For the positive or negative value arrow of measure, title. Displaying title in this functionality, font family, font size and font color are in function of presenting. Fonts. Font, a selection of fonts, as well as changing their properties are placed in the font menu. This menu contains the following properties, that control the properties of tooltip as well: font, size, font color, tooltip font, tooltip size, tooltip font color. Color, a selection of color, as well as changing their properties are placed in the color menu. This menu contains the following properties: background, defines the background of the extension; hover bar color, defines the color on bar hovering; highlight color, defines the color of the highlighted value; highlight actual bar color, defines color of the highlighted actual month bar; bar border color. Layer settings, property defined values for the maximum 2 users. To set up users must be selected left bar type or right bar type for specific user. Example, select left bar type user 1 in the layer settings, add value and set up color for user. Layer colors, define colors for the users. Exports, with this chart is only available exports. To use exports, have to be installed on same or dedicated server exports API.